आप अपने फेवरेट पार्लियामेंटेरियंस को पैसा दीजिए और वो आपके बदले पार्लियामेंट्स में जाके क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे. What is this? This is cash for query. Recently, the former member of parliament of the Lok Sabha, Mahua Moitra, has been expelled from the Lok Sabha because of this cash for query. Right? So she has been disqualified. But disqualification तो राहुल गांधी का भी हुआ था. डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन करप्शन रिलेटेड केसेस के भी होते हैं. कोई पागल हो गया है उसको भी डिस्क्वालीफाई किया जा सकता है. तो व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस? रिसेंटली एक और न्यूज आपने सुना होगा दैट सम मेंबर्स ऑफ पार्लियामेंट हैज बीन सस्पेंडेड. So what is the difference between suspension and disqualification? What is the role of this ethics committee which recently has come up? Right? How would you know? Well, we will be discussing everything in this class. Hello everyone, I am Rajeshwar. Recently this was in the news that Mahua Moitra has been disqualified, has been expelled from the Lok Sabha because the cash for query. इस न्यूज को हम और अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे, बहुत डिटेल में पढ़ने वाले हैं in this video. But before that, the core thing is disqualification. How a member of parliament can be disqualified. So there are several methods of disqualification. Even the constitution itself writes in the article 102 of the constitution of India that a member of parliament can be disqualified. किस तरह से disqualification हो सकता है? In this part, if any person is of unsound mind, पागल हो गया, if the person has chosen the citizenship of another country, इंडिया का सिटीजनशिप ही नहीं है उनके पास, अब कोई बिना इंडिया का सिटीजनशिप लिए इंडियन के पार्लियामेंट में नहीं रह सकता. राइट? ए पर्सन हैज बीन चार्ज्ड एज इंसॉल्वेंट, तो बैंकरप्ट हो गया, तो सच पर्सन्स विल आल्सो बी नॉट अलाउड टू बी पार्ट ऑफ द पार्लियामेंट. All these kinds of disqualification is being covered under the constitutional methods, that is under Article 102 of the Constitution of India. Who is the authority who is disqualifying member of parliament in this aspect? President of India. Right. Other methods, जैसे बहुत सारे other methods हैं. किसी पर्सन को कन्विक्ट हो गए, कोई मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट ने कोई ऐसी क्राइम करी जिसके कारण उनको 2 साल की ज्यादा की सजा हो गई. करप्शन रिलेटेड केसेस में वो इन्वॉल्व थे, करप्ट प्रैक्टिसेस कर रहे थे. राइट? दे आर इन्वॉल्वमेंट इन करप्शन विद सम पब्लिक सर्वेंट्स. इस तरह के डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन कहां से किया जा सकता है? थ्रू द रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ पीपुल्स एक्ट 1951. सेक्शन 8, 9, 10, 11 of the representation of people's act, it deals with the disqualification. Right? And इस वाले डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन के अंदर, इस रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ पीपुल्स एक्ट के अंदर ही दिया गया था that if any person is being convicted for more than 2 years, that person will have to disqualify from the member of parliament. For how many years? The number of years he has been imprisoned plus 6 years. Right? So this is another form of disqualification. Through this form of disqualification only Rahul Gandhi has been disqualified. Right? अब तो उनका वापस ले लिया गया वो डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन, बिकॉज हायर जुडिशियरी में उन्होंने अपील किया और वहां से लोअर जुडिशियरी के जो वर्डिक्ट थे उसको स्टे लगा दिया गया. Another form of disqualification can be through the anti-defection law. If any member of parliament is not following the ideology of the party, if they are not following whatever the whip of that party is telling them, अगर कोई पार्टी, किसी एक पार्टी से कोई मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट बना, दूसरे पार्टी में जाके ज्वाइन कर लिया, सिलेक्ट होने के बाद, मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट बनने के बाद, ऐसे लोग को भी डिस्क्वालीफाई किया जा सकता है. नॉमिनेटेड मेंबर्स, इफ द नॉमिनेटेड मेंबर्स गेट्स goes and join to the other party after the 6 months, so thus such persons can also be disqualified under what? Under anti-defection law. Which is the authority which will be taking decision in this regard? It is the speaker of the Lok Sabha or the chairman of that particular house, right? In case of Lok Sabha, it is speaker of the Lok Sabha. So such kinds of disqualification has been there. अब रिसेंटली 15 एमपी को सस्पेंड कर दिया गया है। कुछ आपके एमएलए, आम आदमी पार्टी के एमएलए को कुछ महीनों पहले भी डिस्क्वालीफाई किया, सस्पेंड किया गया था, नॉट डिस्क्वालीफाई, सस्पेंड किया गया था। सो व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन सस्पेंशन एंड डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन? सस्पेंशन में जब सस्पेंड किया जाता है तो लाइक किसी पर्टिकुलर टाइम पीरियड के लिए किया जा सकता है, लाइक फॉर दिस सेशन ओनली, देयर आर 3 सेशंस इन अ ईयर, so for one particular session a person can be suspended, वो सेशन खत्म, वापस से वो पर्सन उस अगले सेशन में आ सकते हैं। या फिर इंडेफिनिट पीरियड ऑफ टाइम के लिए भी किया जा सकता है सस्पेंड, बाद में अगर हाउस के अंदर सब एग्री करते हैं देन दैट पर्सन विल बी टेकन बैक अगेन। बट disqualification is different. Once a person is disqualified from the member of parliament, he will remain disqualified unless and until कि जिस कंडीशन पे उनको डिस्क्वालीफाई किया गया है थ्रू विच वॉट एवर प्रोसीड्योर, तो वो चीज चेंज हो जाए। फॉर एग्जाम्पल लाइक द फॉर द राहुल गांधी केस, राइट? सो इन राहुल गांधी केस द लोअर कोर्ट्स ने जो वर्डिक्ट दिया था 2 साल की सजा दी थी, तो उस वर्डिक्ट पे स्टे लग गया, तो फर्दर हिज disqualification has been revoked and he again became the member of the parliament. So this is the difference between disqualification and suspension. Means suspension is the temporary, for the temporary period, disqualification is for the permanent thing, right? Now coming to the issue जो अभी हुआ है, this is Mahua Moitra. Now she is the former member of parliament, लोकसभा की मेंबर थी ये 2019 से, she has been the member of parliament or the member of Lok Sabha. This lady has been disqualified, or this not disqualified, has been expelled for case for query, right? Why? Because she has a friend who is the senior advocate of like Supreme Court, and his name is Jay Anand Dehradei, right? This person has filed a complaint against this lady that this lady has been taking gifts, money, and this lady has been putting up questions whatever this person has been telling her to ask in that in the Lok Sabha. So what is this? This is case for query thing, right? तो इस पर्सन ने क्या किया, आनंद देहरादे ने, इन्होंने कंप्लेंट किया टू द सेंट्रल ब्यूरो ऑफ इन्वेस्टिगेशन एंड सेंड कॉपी ऑफ लेटर इन्होंने सेंड कर दिया टू द ओम बिरला, दैट इज द चेयरमैन ऑफ द और द स्पीकर ऑफ द लोकसभा। तो जैसे ही कोई केसेस आता है स्पीकर ऑफ द लोकसभा को इथिक्स से रिलेटेड, अनइथिकल प्रैक्टिसेस इज गोइंग ऑन, so what will be there? There will be role of ethics committee. So the matters will be referred to the ethics committee. But एक और MP हैं बीजेपी MP निशिकांत दुबे, so this person has also a written complaint has been sent to the Om Birla that please disqualify Mrs. Mahua Moitra because she has been illegitimately asking questions and she has been following the case for query. तो रोल आ गया किसका? इथिक्स कमिटी का। इथिक्स कमिटी का रोल आ गया। So who is the head of the ethics committee right now? It is Binod Kumar Sonkar. Now this ethics committee was set up, means it is already set up, for every year it is being set up. So this committee reviewed this, inquired into this, and it has found that कि सही में इस तरह के केसेस हुए हैं, केस पर क्वेरी वाले केसेस हुए हैं, राइट? So therefore this person has submitted a report. On the basis of report, when the discussion was going on, so this parliamentary affair minister at that point put a motion that the Mrs. Mahua Moitra should be disqualified from the house, and ये motion जब पास हो गया voice vote से, so that person, the Mahua Moitra, has been suspended or expelled from the house. Means not suspended, it is she is expelled from the house. थोड़ा सा क्रोनोलॉजी समझ लेते हैं so that to understand the procedure what is being followed under the ethics committee, right? So 14 अक्टूबर को मिस्टर जय आनंद देरादई इन्होंने फाइल किया सीबीआई को कंप्लेंट and same letter was forwarded to the speaker Om Birla. Now BJP MP, he has asked through a letter to the Mr. Birla that please suspend this Mrs. Moitra who is taking the quest for query, and it was the allegation that the parliamentary questions which has been critical to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Adani group, so such questions have been asked actually by the other person, that is Hiranandani, and such questions is being taken up in the house because that person has been given the special this portal access. So this matter was referred to the ethics committee of the Lok Sabha. Now on 19th October 2023, Darshan Hiranandani has submitted an affidavit. What is in the affidavit? This person had said that Mrs. Moitra shared her parliamentary credential. Just imagine that the portal, the Lok Sabha portal, has some login ID passwords. So such passwords have been shared to this Darshan Hiranandani by Mrs. Moitra, and so that this person, Darshan Hiranandani, could post a question on the Lok Sabha portal which she would be discussing further in the Lok Sabha. So this is the issue. Very shocking things have been revealed in this affidavit by the Darshan Hiranandani. He had said that for the Lok Sabha MP Mrs. Moitra, the only way to become highlighted, the only way to remain highlighted was to ask questions related to Prime Minister Modi and the Adani and their linkages between them. So this is the process. Plus he has also said that Mrs. Moitra has been frequently asking for the demands, several kinds of demands like the gifts, travel tours, right, holidays packages. So such kinds of demands have been coming up, luxury items, goods. So such kinds of demands have been coming up, and this person, Darshan Hiranandani, has been fulfilling all these demands so that his questions could be asked in the Lok Sabha, right? And very important part is even the login credential and the passwords of the Lok Sabha has been shared with the Darshan Hiranandani, and on behalf of Mrs. Moitra, he has been putting up questions to this. ठीक है, ये समझ में आया? Then whenever any cases is being filed and whenever anything is referred to the ethics committee, so it is a general procedure that ethics committee will be summoning that member of parliament and will be trying to hear such cases. Is trying to hear the story from that side. So same thing happened on the 2nd November 2023. In front of the ethics committee, the Mrs. Moitra has accepted that she has taken several kinds of gifts from the Mr. Hiranandani for asking questions. Means not directly, but she has given the portal access to the Mr. Hiranandani. Login ID passwords have been shared. So through that he has been asking questions. So that is there. So definitely it has been found that by the ethics committee that okay, so such illegal gratifications, for the fulfilling of illegal gratifications has been going on, and this is the matter of cash for query, which is obviously unethical in nature. Therefore this lady should be expelled from the house. So he has reported, the ethics committee has submitted its report to the Speaker of the House. A Speaker of the House has tabled this in the Parliament on the 8th December 2023, and on the same day, while the discussion, another motion was raised by the Parliamentary Affairs Minister, and this motion was regarding the expulsion of Mrs. Moitra for cash for query, right? And therefore, when this motion was got passed by the voice votes, so after the passing of this motion, Mrs. Moitra was expelled from the Lok Sabha. So she is no more the part of the Lok Sabha. But during 8th December 2023, the Mrs. Moitra has not been given chance to speak up in the house. So she called this kinds of verdict as a hanging by the kangaroo court. Right. So this is there. So would you will be thinking कि अब तो वो हो गई expelled. Does she have any chance कि her expulsion can be revoked? क्या वो फिर से मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट बन सकती है इसी बार में? राइट. तो फ्यू सिनेरियोज आर देयर. देखो उनको मिस पार्लियामेंट के अंदर बोलने नहीं दिया गया. So this is against the natural justice. Natural justice says that the person should be heard first before disqualification or before expulsion. Right. So that has not been followed. So proper procedures has not been followed. So on this basis she can reach to the Supreme Court. Right. But एक hurdle है. Hurdle क्या है? That Article 122 of the Constitution of India, it clearly says that the court not to inquire into the proceedings of the parliament. It's whatever proceedings is going on inside the parliament, court will not be hearing this. Right. The validity of any proceedings in the parliament shall not be called in the question on the ground of any alleged irregularity of procedure. तो अब ये केसेस लिया जाएगा नहीं लिया जाएगा, दिस इज द मैटर ऑफ टाइम. वी विल बी watching this whether this case will be taken up by the Supreme Court or not. Another क्या option हो सकता है मिसेस मोइत्रा के पास? She can visit to the other parliamentary officials either directly or through the party that ethics committee has over the conduct of the ethics committee has been such that it has exceeded its jurisdiction. Right. So that is also the case. या थर्ड पॉसिबिलिटी ये हो सकता है कि सी कैन फाइल फॉर ए डेफिकेशन. राइट. नॉट डेफिकेशन, लाइक सी कैन फाइल फॉर द डिफेमेशन केस अगेंस्ट दिस सीनियर एडवोकेट as well as against the BJP MP. And if she wins in the court, so it will be proved that she is innocent and there may be chances that her expulsion can be reverted. Right. तो ये तो आपने समझ लिया कि अभी कैसे हुआ है, इथिक्स कमिटी के थ्रू कैसे एक्सपल्सन होता है. राइट. बट क्या ये पहली बार हो रहा है? प्रीलिम्स में ऐसा क्वेश्चन आ सकता है, क्या ये पहली बार हो रहा है? तो नो, दिस हैज नॉट बीन द फर्स्ट केस. अर्लियर ऑल्सो इन 2005 10 मेंबर्स ऑफ द लोकसभा एंड 1 मेंबर ऑफ द राज्यसभा इनके डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन की बात चली थी बिकॉज ऑफ द कैस्पर क्वेरी. So this is not the first time that Casper query has been taken into the question. Right. When we are talking about this ethics committee, so you should also understand what this ethics committee is. When does this ethics committee came up? Right. So ethics committee, it was not there since the constitution has been enforced, means 1950 से नहीं चला आ रहा था. Actually 1996 में presiding officers की एक कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई थी. इन दैट इट वाज डिसाइडेड दैट देयर शुड बी एथिक्स कमिटी इन द बोथ द हाउसेस. राइट. सो देयरफॉर इन द 1997 ethics committee was set up in upper house, that is Rajya Sabha, but still in Lok Sabha there was no ethics committee. It was only in 2000 that ethics committee was set up on the ad hoc basis in the Lok Sabha. Right. But it was still in the ad hoc nature, it was not in permanent nature. And only in 2015 it has been given a permanent status. Now every year ethics committee will be set up. So tenure of the ethics committee will be 1 year, means एक साल के बाद तो है तो परमानेंट नेचर का, लेकिन एक साल के बाद मेंबर्स इसमें चेंज होते रहेंगे, नए नए मेंबर्स इसमें आते रहेंगे. राइट. सो दैट इज देयर एंड देयर विल बी 15 मेंबर्स. ऐसे राइट नाउ देयर इज ओनली 10 मेंबर्स which has been there. Out of that 10 members, in case of Mahua Moitra case, 6 has agreed that she should be expelled and 4 were from the opposition parties, so they did not accept that she should be expelled. But decision is being taken through the majority. Right. So 6 out of 10 has said that she should be expelled. So report came in that fashion only, that she should be expelled. What are the procedure of the complaints? किस तरह से ethics committee के through expulsion किया जा सकता है, कैसे जाया जाता है ethics committee के. तो दो प्रोसेस हैं. एक तो है कि या तो जो पार्लियामेंटेरियंस है, जो एमपी हैं, उनको ही कुछ पता चल जाए दैट सम पर्सन is doing cash for query things or some person is doing unethical things in the house, so that person can himself file a complaint in front of the speaker, right? तो उससे डायरेक्टली इथिक्स कमेटी के पास स्पीकर रेफर कर सकते हैं, या नहीं कोई थर्ड पर्सन है जो आउट ऑफ पार्लियामेंट है, दैट पर्सन कैन ऑल्सो इनिशिएट थ्रू ए कंप्लेंट थ्रू अदर मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट. So other member of parliament will be complaining in place of that person. और इस केस में लेकिन जो आउटसाइडर्स हैं उनको एक एफिडेविट देना पड़ेगा that whatever he is reading, he or she is telling in the house means regarding this, so that is not false, that is not frivolous, that is not vexatious. For example, in case of Mahua Moitra, there has been affidavit of this Mr. Hiranandani, right? So that is there. The speaker will refer the matter to the ethics committee. Ethics committee will be looking into the issue. One again, here it is very important. Ethics committee will not go for the media trials. Just because in the media something is coming up that some person has conducted cash for query, so on the basis of that only he will be there. No, there will be proper inquiry process will be there. All the stakeholders involved will be called upon, summoned upon, and they will be asked regarding this. So that will be there, that process will be followed. After that, whatever the ethics committee will find, it will make a report, and such reports will be given to the speaker of the house. A speaker of the house will be submitting that report in the parliament for the discussion, right? So that is there, so that has been there. Half an hour discussion can be set up in this kinds of issue, right? Now while this is in the discussion, if any kind of motion to remove for the expulsion or disqualification can be brought up, and if that motion gets passed by the House of the People, so that person can be disqualified from the Lok Sabha. Similar thing goes for the Rajya Sabha also, right? So that is the issue. Okay, so you have understood that what are different types of disqualification are there. One type of disqualification is already written in the Article 102 of the Constitution of India regarding member of parliament. Another type of disqualification is written in the Representation of Peoples Act 1951. Both these types decision will be taken by the president. Third types is like when there is disqualification under the anti-defection law. So through anti-defection law disqualification, who will be deciding authority? It will be the presiding officer. That is, in case of Lok Sabha, it will be the Speaker of the House. And another methods which we had seen just now, that through the ethics committee also, if some person is involved in unethical behavior, right? So that person can also be disqualified, or that person can also be expelled, right? So at any place, at your mains point of view or for the prelims point of view, this person is very, very important. So thank you very much. This is from this video.